I made it to the so-called haunted insane asylum. I will admit, it isn't the best area I've seen. A whole mile around it is mainly abandoned homes being torn down or auctioned for the land itself. Not a single person was in sight. I upgraded my camera and added a night vision mode to it. My watch reads 8 p.m. right now. Yeah, smart, I know. It's totally the best time to visit a place like this. My phone is fully charged. Seems like I have everything. I will admit, this place is creepy. Not sure which is scarier, the random voices and noises, or the number of rusted blades that will give me tetanus if I stare at them too hard. This was all a bet. A friend said I wouldn't have the courage to come here, shoot 30 minutes of footage as a tour, and then come back. I wouldn't usually do this, but that was a crisp $100 bill he flashed my way as the reward. Gives me a reason not to stay home eating a pint of Ben & Jerry's while crying on the couch. Okay, just heard or saw something moving down the hall. This flashlight is pretty garbage, and I'm not wasting my phone battery to use the flashlight on it. I think I have 10 minutes of footage so far. Nothing too impressive, just some old equipment from the 50s and 60s. Rusty stuff, chairs, straitjackets, the smell of feces. At least there are gang tags, which means people actually come here and leave alive. I hope. This is a huge nope. I'm hiding in one of the closets right now. Some guy in a mask, wearing a doctor's outfit from that time period, is wandering the halls with a blade. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I hope that's a murderer and not an actual ghost or haunting entity. Please be a sociopath and not something back from the afterlife out for revenge. I was able to take a quick piss somewhere. That's the good news. The bad news is that I'm not carrying much food besides some energy bars. My flashlight died. My phone is turned off to save power. My camera is about half full. And I think I just shit myself in fear. Also, I don't think that thing is a person. It's limping around with a scalpel and needle, probably filled with the drug they use to sedate mental patients. I can't feel much. All I remember is running, a stabbing feeling, and darkness. I'm in a cell right now in a straitjacket. Just great. Butt-ass naked on this cold concrete ground. Damp smelling mattress beside me with water leaking from a pipe. The sound of water dripping is getting to me. I've seen bathrooms bigger than this cell. The voices won't stop, and I hear him coming. It all started on a cold winter evening. The sun was down, the sky was black, and stars were barely visible among the thick city smog. The streets were dead empty. I was walking to the bus stop to catch the final route back home after work. I reached the bus stop only to miss it. The workday was long, it was 9 p.m., snow was falling, the wind was increasing, and I just wanted to go home. An early shift was bad enough, but missing the final bus was a horrible end to my night. I couldn't even react. The air was warm and then dropped in a split second. The temperature plummeted well below zero, and my lightweight jacket wasn't cutting it. It was when I turned to my left that things got odd. A woman with brown hair, blue eyes, pale skin, and frostbite eating at it with purple veins visible. Even with this visible damage from the cold, she was bundled in a heavy leather jacket, a hat, gloves, and a smooth scarlet scarf. That scarf almost glowed with color and actual heat. It felt like a heated blanket just being near it. She had these lifeless and glazed eyes that still moved around, taking in her surroundings. I suppose my chattering teeth from the cold eating at my body caught her attention. I didn't pack any gloves, had snow in my sneakers, wet socks, and a thin jacket. One reason I dressed as light was because the bus came fast this morning. I thought I'd get a fast bus back home, only to miss it. I turned around to walk the 2 miles home in the cold snow and weather. The woman followed me the entire way, stalking me like a shadow. I approached my apartment complex, dying inside from the first stages of frostbite eating away at me. Her shivers made me cave into the urge to let her into my apartment. But all of a sudden, my asshole of a landlord pushed her to the side of the stairs, making her trip into the snow as he left. I had to help her up. After a nice hot shower, dinner, and sleep where my body thawed itself, I was up bright and early at 6 a.m. The woman was nowhere to be found. I assumed she had just crashed at my place and left early. All I found was a thank you note, her same scarlet scarf that radiated constant heat, and the smell of rotting flesh. The body of my landlord was in the hallway, frozen solid. His body was in the same state the woman had been in, pale, frostbitten skin, glazed eyes, no movement, and lacking a soul. I was kind, but he was not. I work a literal graveyard shift at a cemetery. My hours are 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Deaths are quite common around this area, and we also get bodies from the borders of the state. While the work environment isn't the most ideal, I am alone and don't have to deal with the bullshit of other people. I put on my headphones, shuffle my playlist, and dig. A shovel full of dirt, toss it behind the shoulder, rinse and repeat. Simple manual labor for 8 hours. I'd do the daytime shift or even the afternoon, but there's something about the night that makes it better. It's quiet. I'm alone. I have a bright set of lights to illuminate dozens of feet around me. I can wear my favorite jacket and gloves to stay warm, and I can take a break whenever I feel like it. No supervisor breathing down my back or annoying coworker slacking off. The only witness to my work is the moon and the spirits that roam this graveyard. Yes, ghosts are real and active at night. When midnight calls, the dead rise. From midnight to 6 a.m., they roam around me. I've learned to keep my head down, avoid eye contact, and keep to myself. They don't do much outside of conversing with each other, nothing more than mere cold and empty spirits drifting around the limbo of the mortal realm, locked out of the world beyond. They are very protective of this cemetery and selective about who they allow in. I would dare say that they're good for security. No need for an officer at night. Once, a group of young high schoolers was spray painting one of the graves. The spirits punished their actions. I had never seen a soul ripped from the very body it inhabits. I could hear their screams as the spirits reached in and ripped them from their mortal shell. The shrieks of pain that can't even be described, subjected to the hellish torment that awaits them in the underworld for disrespecting the dead. Yeah, I busted out the good old cleaning kit, sprayed the gravestone with that industrial level cleaner, and got to scrubbing. Melted the paint right off. I can't tell if I'm liked by the spirits due to me sticking to my job and fixing any damage or mess done to the cemetery during the day. The morning staff have been seeing things and hearing whispers in their heads that drive them crazy. I'm convinced I'll be the only one working here for a while. The whole cemetery to myself. I look upon the graves tonight as the moon shines down like a bright light. Oh, my own grave is right there. Well, isn't that a bit silly? I forgot that even in death, my old work is all I know.